Every organization says the same thing. We want to be data-driven. So they buy the dashboards. They sign the analytics contracts. They migrate to the cloud. They roll out AI copilots. And for a moment, it feels like they're standing on the edge of a smarter, faster business. Then something weird happens. The dashboards get built, and nobody opens them. The reports go out, and decisions stay the same. The single source of truth becomes a single source of confusion. And leadership starts to wonder if BI was a mistake.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most BI initiatives fail, and it's rarely because the technology wasn't good enough. Most of the time, BI fails because adoption fails. People, habits, incentives, and culture quietly sabotage the program before it even has a chance. I'm Nakul Nakima, and welcome back to the BI channel, where data meets decisions. My lane is the intersection of BI, AI, and the future of work. And today, we're talking about the real reason BI fails. Not tools. Not data. Not dashboards. Adoption. Let's zoom out for a second, because BI adoption doesn't look the same everywhere. And those differences teach us something. In the United States, you often see fast adoption of tools but slow adoption of behavior. Companies roll out platforms quickly, but the day-to-day decision-making culture takes longer to change. The tech arrives on time. The habits don't. Across parts of Europe, there's typically stronger governance and more rigor around definitions and compliance. That's good. But it can come with a more conservative adoption culture, where experimentation slows down, and teams wait for perfect alignment before they truly use the system. In many Asian markets, you'll see rapid scaling, especially in high-growth organizations. But BI literacy can be uneven depending on the industry and how quickly teams have had to modernize. Some groups become advanced quickly, while others are left staring at charts that might as well be written in a foreign language. Across parts of Africa, there's often a mobile-first mindset that leapfrogs older legacy steps. Instead of desktop-first analytics culture, insights can move through phones and lightweight tools faster than you'd expect. The constraint becomes less about willingness and more about access, connectivity, and investment consistency. And in LATAM, there's frequently high enthusiasm for analytics and modernization, but infrastructure and operational consistency can vary widely. That creates a pattern where the appetite is real, but execution becomes uneven. Different regions, different constraints, same universal theme. Technology adoption is relatively easy. Behavior adoption is hard. Now let's get specific. Here are the 7 adoption barriers that kill BI programs, usually quietly, usually early, and often without anyone realizing what's happening until it's too late. Barrier 1. The dashboard dump. This is the classic move. A BI team works hard, builds a huge library of dashboards, then launches BI, by announcing it to the company like they just delivered electricity. But instead of clarity, users get buried. 10 dashboards, 20 dashboards, 50 dashboards, different filters, different definitions, different metrics named the same thing. And here's the trap. More dashboards does not mean more insight. It often means more noise. People don't adopt what overwhelms them. They avoid it. Barrier 2. No clear use cases. BI gets rolled out like a tool instead of a solution, as if the platform itself is the value. But the average person in a business doesn't wake up excited to use BI. They wake up trying to hit targets, reduce risk, close deals, ship on time, control costs, and survive their calendar. If people can't answer the question, what will this help me do better on Tuesday morning? They won't use it. Not because they're stubborn, because they're busy. Barrier 3. Leaders don't model BI behavior. This one is brutally simple. If leadership doesn't use data in visible ways, the organization learns the real rules. If executives make decisions in meetings based on opinions, volume, or hierarchy, that becomes the operating system. And no amount of dashboards will override that culture. Adoption doesn't start with a training session. It starts at the top, with leaders who consistently ask, "What does the data say?" and then actually let the data influence the outcome. Barrier 4. BI feels like extra work. If using BI adds steps, adds friction, adds time, people treat it like homework. Something they'll get to later. If I have to leave my workflow, log into another tool, search for a dashboard, pick the right filter, interpret the chart, and then translate it back into action, that's not support. That's a project. Adoption grows when insights are frictionless, fast, and naturally connected to how work already happens. Barrier 5. Data literacy gaps. People avoid what they don't understand. If someone isn't confident reading a trend line, questioning a metric definition, or understanding basic concepts like variance, seasonality, or correlation versus causation, then BI becomes uncomfortable. And most people don't say, "I don't understand this." They just stop using it. Quietly. BI adoption requires competence, not just access. Barrier 6. No accountability for data-driven decisions. This is where BI becomes optional, and optional becomes ignored. If decisions aren't tied to measurable outcomes, if teams aren't expected to justify major calls with evidence, then BI stays in the category of nice to have. But when decisions have to be linked to data, and when outcomes are reviewed against the evidence that was available at the time, then suddenly BI isn't optional anymore. It's part of how you operate. Barrier 7. BI teams speak a different language. This is the translation problem. BI teams often communicate in technical terms, semantic layers, star schemas, lineage, DAX, refresh schedules, access policies. All real, all important. But business users hear that and feel like they're being handed a machine instead of an answer. Adoption doesn't require more complexity. It requires translation. It requires telling people, in plain language, what this helps them decide, how confident they can be in it, and what action it suggests. So that's the diagnosis. Now let's talk treatment. How do you fix BI adoption in a way that actually sticks? Step 1. Start with 3 high-impact use cases. Not 30. Not enterprise-wide visibility. 3. Pick the decisions that matter most. The ones that affect revenue, cost, risk, customer experience, or speed. And build the BI experience around those decisions first. When BI meaningfully improves a small number of critical decisions, people notice. And that's how you earn the right to expand. Step 2. Build decision workflows, not dashboards. A dashboard is a display. A decision workflow is a path from question to action. So instead of asking, "What chart should we show?" ask, "What decision is this person trying to make, and what information do they need at the exact moment of choice?" Dashboards should support decisions. Decisions drive adoption. Step 3. Train for interpretation, not tools. Most training is backwards. It focuses on where to click, what menu to open, which filter to select. But people don't need to become BI developers. They need to become confident decision makers with data. Train teams to interpret, to ask better questions, to spot bad metrics, to recognize when a number needs context, to understand what the data can't tell them. Step 4. Make BI the default in meetings. If you want a data culture, make meetings a data environment. Start with the numbers, not with opinions, not with status updates, not with whoever speaks first. When every recurring meeting begins with the relevant metrics and a quick read of what changed, you reshape behavior. BI stops being a separate activity and becomes the language of alignment. Step 5. Create BI champions in each department. Adoption spreads through people, not platforms. You want a few respected operators inside sales, finance, ops, marketing, product, whoever matters in your org, who understand the metrics, use them naturally, and can help translate the value to their teams. These champions reduce friction, answer the "How do I use this?" questions in real time, and most importantly, normalize the behavior. Step 6. Measure adoption like a KPI. If adoption is the goal, Treat it like a metric that matters. Track logins, sure, but don't stop there. Track what people actually use. Track which dashboards or insights influence decisions. Track time to insight. Track decision cycle time. Track whether better visibility changes outcomes. What gets measured gets improved, and what gets reviewed becomes real. Step 7. Integrate BI into the tools people already live in. Don't force people to go to BI. Bring BI to them. Embed insights into email, into Slack or Teams, into CRM, into ERP, into mobile apps, into the places where work occurs and decisions get made. Adoption rises when BI meets people where they already are. Now, before we close, let's look forward, because BI adoption is about to evolve fast. First, AI is becoming the interface for BI. Instead of opening a dashboard, people will ask a question in natural language. Why did churn spike in the Northeast? Which accounts are most likely to expand? What changed since last week? And the BI layer will respond with an answer, the reasoning, and the data behind it. Second, BI will become more invisible. The best insights won't require searching. They'll surface automatically in context, as alerts, summaries, or recommendations, right when they're needed. Third, decision intelligence will start replacing traditional BI as the end goal. The focus shifts from dashboards to decisions to outcomes. Not, did you view the report? But, did we choose better, faster, and with less risk? Fourth, adoption will be measured by business impact more than usage metrics. Logins and views are weak signals. Performance is the signal. Did margin improve? Did cycle time drop? Did forecast accuracy go up? Did customer satisfaction rise? That's the scoreboard. And fifth, BI becomes a leadership skill. In the next wave of work, leaders who can't interpret data won't just be inconvenienced. They'll be outperformed by leaders who can. Data fluency becomes management fluency. So let's lock in the takeaways. BI fails because adoption fails. Adoption is a behavior problem, not a technology problem. The 7 barriers are predictable. The dashboard dump, unclear use cases, leaders not modeling, BI as extra work, literacy gaps, no accountability, and the translation gap between BI and the business. And the future of BI is AI-driven, embedded, and decision-focused. Adoption is the competitive advantage.
If this episode changed how you think about why BI programs stall out, follow the BI channel for more practical, global insights on BI, AI, and decision intelligence. And send this to 2 people, someone on your BI team and someone on your leadership team. Because adoption is not just a BI problem, it's an organizational choice. The BI channel, where data meets decisions.